MPP no asanteman yimu frim otumfo oni se wo MPP mu mampon hene de wa yirem asante epegya na betri ye MPP fo no ende munya MPP biem ende ya kire mo size asante nka mantum ada ye betis asante ni biti radio so ka se MPP no ye MPP no ye bese hu ye bese kwasea obanyansafo ende kasa edi tumi ba fie. Even somebody who was not an MPP person before he became the vice president, Allan Kodechiamantin is pulling out because Ohuni said the MPP that represented or Asantefo representing, MPP na or representing and everything, it is not the NPP. And then when the DMPP, why they represent MPP, what does it stand for? Now we are Santinina Oshamia. Question and say, so what the MPP who Sebio obi hu nka so yakwase ampanyi if you say MPP de busa say wakonwa wo hia ehina obeka so wakonwa wo moma yenko akire na yenkyerɛkyerɛ ye ho adekudie ntia de AC in there. Allan Kodechiamantin say he doesn't want to do anything or he doesn't want to have anything to do with MPP a flag bearership position no and a race ni biem no moma enya botre ne yenko akire na yenkai ho ne ehumbehu bebia ya bedu. It will not surprise you. You will understand say Nanado Danko Ekufuado ene na chimfo ya omaje MPP aboso no, they started from opposition. They had that idea say they would destroy the NPP. Now omo di Asantefo na be say MPP. And in Boba power no, they started using Mensia to destroy MPP. Nanso Mensia hu na Mensia dwene say oh Ekufuado ne na chimfo we die omo buye na Mensia dwene say na Asante dwene say Nanado Danko Ekufuado they came to do what? To help Asante. And in Mobedi power first no Gabi anutia otumfo odi otumfo atem bedi etuo edi otumfo atem ena MPP bu omo aban mu Jubilee House for no edi otumfo atem efri say na omo mentality bi say Asantefo nye nipa bi a e was a party omo di enim nti wo hwa eye ebu akwahene estati peja na betri estati peja na betri efri say ensem a omo ka kire omo ho no eye say e was Asante ye sadane omo nkoa efri say party we no enya Asante dia.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
For higher PENDREAM TV in Pachos and your first time I subscribe to channel no found sabo I don't manage to set the video be at tour. Ube first person I share. Usha video ni we send a voice note mine I was 0277128777 0277128777 ebe bo achire Ghana for nyina. For yanko share and video number.
Jack, I think these things and I'm a person MPP for us. Let's take care of MPP. A year and the Yabati Ninan say a year MPP. Allan Kodechiamantin say on per se or betwasu beam with the flag bearership a year race no. Ain't we in safe home. He does not want to be part of this process. Now, so you're Ghana in our Shamia. Busa ho say e die pa na be ma Allan Kodechiamantin a oja eye presidency ana flag bearership race mu ma Ekufuado out of respect out of say party no in kabom bebem Allan Kodechiamantin a sebio nipa dodo and omo contest for NPP flag bearership no sebio nim nyansa chen dodo omo nyina no Allan Kodechiamantin a sebio watna party ma some party na chen majority of them no e den Allan Kodechiamantin at this point e ka say baby a party no I don't even want to contest again busa ho sa because 90% of omo MPP musisi omo running for this contest no Allan Kodechiamantin integrity chen omo nyina even though the integrity need to be the president you have to understand say our integrity chen omo wo den omo di on person be the president nyina our MPP mu it also busa ho say what will make Allan Kodechiamantin today drop this bombshell MPP negu MPP na say na de ya ehu ewo de Allan Kodechiamantin achro adekudie ntia ogina so atwe no ho every race when enema na dangerous. Allan de so enipa. Allan is human. Allan is not the only person who can lead the NPP. But when you check the track record of Allan Kodechiamantin, even when he contested the Ekufuado and a rough, a daring, Allan Kodechiamantin did not write the kind of things he's written today. Nti obusa ho say edie ne bema such a person go further to write such things and finally saying that I don't want to be part of this NPP. Party way sebio yen nuanoma Asantefo say eyomo fruma. Debia MPP for ka yen Asantefo ne kuta MPP mu. Asante yen na yema MPP to me. After John Ajekun Kufuor nipa na oya Asantini mapa. Yeka Asantini mapa. Asantefo gini tum say onim nyansa obetume di MPP enim na Allan Kojo Chiramanten. Even when Kufuor was contesting his second term, now in Kufuor people gidi say Allan was ripe to contest Kufuor, but out of some reason Allan Chiramanten said no, I will not do it. Into tina back now Busan will say what will make such person write such a statement and come out and say me am a party na you say Asantefo party am ya Santini am represent ya Asantefo no me se me pese me de me nsabe kan biem party din ko. After this short break you be check him.
Ghana, a peaceful country and a beacon of democracy in its fourth republic, has had violent free elections and transitioned power peacefully without any unrest or civil strife. This has become effortlessly possible because of the peace-loving leaders Ghanaians have successfully elected to lead them. President Kufuor in 2007 perfectly described the attribute of the type of person to lead Ghanaians at all times.
So anybody who is always full of tension and fighting and that sort of thing, we have to be careful about. Whether when the power is given to this person to lead us, is the type with the experience and with all due respect the wisdom to be able to keep the country united, to secure the nation, to gain the respect of the forces, the military, the police, the chiefs. Look out for that, because we know the history. Some people have been given power only to lose it just like that. We don't want that.
Even so, this peaceful and beautiful country was handed to Nana Akufo-Addo on the 7th January 2017 as president to lead for 4 years. Many people had reservations about his violent nature, which may have been well hidden from the public, but not from those who knew him best. Mr. Kofi Kumsen, a close friend of President Nana Addo, bluntly stated,
I can't entrust Ghana into the hands of Nana Akufo-Addo. I can't sleep. It's not safe. It's not safe. And I believe that.
Then there's Maxwell Kofi-Juma.
He will be a terrible president.
President Nana Addo's violent nature became immediately apparent as a warlord sponsoring his party hoodlums to attack innocent citizens and public officers alike, as was seen with the beating of ASP Nanka Bruce at the presidency in front of a paralyzed security on the 9th January 2017, just 2 days after Nana Addo had been sworn in as president. President Nana Addo surrounded himself with hoodlums as bodyguards and endorsed vigilante groups such as Invincible Force and Delta Force. Members of these vigilante groups had free rein to attack anyone who was not a member of the president's political party. They went on a rampage, causing mayhem and atrocities on anyone who disagreed with or criticized Nana Addo's government. President Nana Addo's own appointee, the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, was heckled, manhandled, and dragged from out of his office like a rat. Not even our courts were spared by these hoodlums. They vandalized court proceedings and broke free fellow members from judicial justice while attacking the sitting judge in the process. The Ayawaso West Wagon by-election was President Nanado's first test of leadership for peaceful elections in the country. Instead, a battalion of his party hoodlums, dressed in SWAT uniforms and armed with lethal weapons, were discharged to visit mayhem and brutalities on innocent citizens who were simply exercising their constitutional right to vote. The aim of these hoodlums was primarily to intimidate voters in the opponent's stronghold and to prevent a free and fair elections. They fired several rounds of gunshots in and around a polling center targeted at Ghanaians, which led to a bloodbath just for a by-election. All this happened under the explicit and tacit approval of President Nanado. These barbarisms happened without a single condemnation from the president. He immediately flew out of the country to attend a concert, leaving bloodied victims to their fate. He gleefully ignored the recommendations of the Ayawaso West Wagon Commission of Inquiry report by issuing a white paper to whitewash these crimes against Ghanaians. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II advised sternly, and I quote, "Elections with integrity mean the electoral contest, both in their preparation and their conduct, must be free and fair and not disfigured by political motivated violence. They must take place on a level playing field with parties and candidates able to campaign to put their case across and the electorate free to cast their votes without fear or intimidation." President Nanado sat in front of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II and jokingly lamented without any apology or remorse, saying in part, "I will not ignore such issues. The law applies to everyone in Ghana. I know it is of concern to you, but do not worry. We will ensure that everything is resolved." My fellow Ghanaians, has this been resolved? Have things been resolved as the president promised Otumfuo? Has Nanado disbanded these vigilante groups? Did we not in fact see these hoodlums on rampage again in Ketu South, Banda, and elsewhere in the just ended new voter compilation exercise?
Live channel.
So this is the reality. Obebusa say NPP, what do they stand for? And we are Santini Obebusa won say na ye NPP na ye de boy ho samra hene no NPP no, where do we stand? And the woman menhia na ohwɛ me anadwo a NPP na ye de hoahoa ye ho no, where do we stand? Allan Chairmantin represented Asantifo wo NPP mu. Allan Chairmantin eni nipa bi a Asantifo de ahoahoa mo ho se sebio enye kra enye se ye de hye we die sebio yenim se okọ a yenti ena okọ obedwene ye ho. And so we Asantini na wo hwe me na wo busa ho se na party no kra mpa ye se ye de na ehe na ye wo mo makonwa wen and ye twe MPP akonwa si wa Asantifo ehe na mo betena chire se sankwas anasa mo betena enim na de AC e wo MPP mu no mama ye mfa ne tra. We need to go back na ye hwe de nipa na o lead MPP no Nanado Danko Ekufuado edien ena waye ne track record ben ena de abedru ha na and the AC no eni se a surprise obia. It's not supposed to surprise anybody. The reason why I say it's not supposed to surprise anybody is say on countless occasions no Nanado Danko Ekufuado akire say this is what he wanted to do and he's doing it. And the Allan Chairmantin pull out of a MPP race, it's not because Allan Chairmantin believes that ultimately we need a race against a nobody like Bawumia, who does not even have a party card, who was even somebody who was not an MPP person before he became the vice president. Allan Chairmantin is pulling out because Ohuni said the MPP that represented or Asantifo representing, MPP na or representing and everything, it is not the NPP. And then when the DMPP nim, why they represent MPP, what does it stand for? Now we are Santinina Oshamia. Question and say, so what the MPP who Sebio, Obi Hunka so yakwasi ampenyi. If you say MPP de busa say wakonwa wa hia, ehina obeka so wakonwa wo. Moma yenko akire. Na yen kyerɛkyerɛ yɛn ho adekudie ntia de AC in there. Allan Kodekyerɛmante say he doesn't want to do anything, or he doesn't want to have anything to do with MPP. A flag bearership position no and a race ni biem no. Moma enya abotre na yenko akire. Na yen kai ho ne ehumbe hu bebia ya bedu. It will not surprise you. You will understand say Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo ene na chimfo ya o magye MPP aboso no. They started from opposition. They had that idea, say they would destroy the NPP. Now, they are Santifo never say MPP. And in Chinaboba power, no, they started using Mensia to destroy MPP. Now, so Mensia, na Mensia just say, oh, Akufo-Addo na chimfo we die, omubuye. Na Mensia just say, na Asante just say, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. They came to do what? To help Asante. And into mobedi power first no Gabi anutia otumfo odi otumfo atem bedi etuo edi otumfo atem ena MPP bu omo aban mu Jubilee House for no edi otumfo atem efri say na omo mentality bi say asantefo nye nipa bi a e was a party omo di enim etu hwa eye ebu akwahene estati peja na betri estati peja na betri efri say ensem a omo ka kire omo ho no eye say e was asante ye sadane omo nkoa. If you say part way no enya santedia. Now we because say eyadeni edru ha. What brought us here? There should be a history with it. So when you are now study history now, it will direct you to today's issue. Allan Kodekyerɛmante, one of the biggest and strongest hooks of the NPP. Say this party, maybe I don't represent such a thing, and that I don't want to have anything to do with presidential candidate. It should tell you, say, party has broken into pieces. I'll say, Bibi Kachre, Yenuanoma Santifo, say, Achimfo and the Omudi MPP, Omojamanai Egumensiaso. These are facts. The Allan Kodekyerɛmante can in there, and some watch on the car time no, it is technically a Chrese Achimfo mo MPP Mundeno, Omojamanai Egumensia. Oma Chrese, the here and Omatwatwa Santimemu. Na Moma Yenkwechi, Namin Church and Yomebi Munchro. Now see, so na opeso checking the history of Akufo-Addo way and it's our MPP we are. This is where it started. In opposition, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, any Nico Ganga, Omoye Achimfo, they entered the MPP and they wanted to do something that people did not pay attention. The first thing they did was they wanted to take over the party, which they did. Yakachira Asante, Yakachira Santifo, Yakachira Mensia said the air cost no Mensia fan and Nancy for ma a bedroom rebino, a chimfo kitwa we omo MPP no, omo benni egu Mensia naso. And then I end this, my men can say na tiasie, Yakasu jan an idea, and a hotek a crack. And the a chimfo ka craving on Jubilee House no, omo a MPP muno, omo to my infiltrate, ako jomo nine, and also omani egu Mensia naso, if you say omumbu Mensia, omumbu Asante kotoko. It started from here when Akufo-Addo in the clique of Achimfo Kitwebino, they murdered this man because there was an agenda. Medi Frechia Bremu 2015, they murdered NPP Northern Regional Chairman. Inti omuku na omushe acid gun sono, and na omu create impression. Say, Sebio, yo nipe bi o party mu a omu ye ntafo, and na Santafo no yankophobia omu ye tutrafo no omu ntumi ndi MPP enim. So they created this plan whereby they had to set up the chairman then Paul Afoko, because they have to make people believe say Paul Afoko ye tutreni or ye nipa okunipa and osaye 10 year on to mean the MPP enim. These were all orchestrated by Akufo-Addo, Gabi, Bedietuo, the finance minister, and MPP for the B. The Council of Elders for the and they created this, and because they wanted to take over the party. saa time nyane etu asantefofo ne etu menhyiafo sɛ de nkofo we yi na nso na menhyia dwen sɛ nkofo we dɔ no efisɛ na nkofo we ba omkutakuta snap omkutakuta abrofo nsa omahyehyɛ suit ekufo de sɛ ne client any otufo asante da na koma so omoba mo de abrochire nsa na asante asre na omabeto saa nyoma ne gu asante na ase na asante ni age na omo set trap ma asantefo efisɛ omo gidi sɛ party no enya asantefo party na party no eye omo dia omo no mbe decide nipa obedi party nanim enti de ekufo de nebusuafo ye ne say they first of all murdered this northern regional chairman enti omo hwe acid gun so no omo hwe no mo frame Paul Afoko, who was then the chairman of the NPP. enti after that this man called for Paul Afoko. They basically turned around and said Paul Afoko nuya akohwie acid egu NPP same regional chairman northern region regional chairman no omo hwie acid egu so oye srem ni oye tuture ni ontumi ndi NPP enim oye tani so it sank yeni anama santifo bi jemene ye kobne Japan esne chiye oya santini ba omo nyina ka se eyampa we entafo we mutimi ndi MPP anim we mu de osi yi omusi nchen. So that is where the coup started. Sekofo ka kire wo say coup si MPP ma, that is where it started. Enti eho ena ekufo ado ne busua ene ne achimfo ketuo bi mo MPP no, they took over the party. Enti omo ye sa coup no ena omo yi Paul Afoko. Enti sometime no so wutie Paul Afoko interviews he was blunt. He told Ghana for say what happened to him as the chairman, the former chairman Adams Mahama, that northern regional chairman no near for Adams Mahama munyina munim no ono ena mu hwe acid gu so no. Enti the times Paul Afoko enya the opportunity to speak on the Ekufuado the year no he was emphatic say a achim agenda to take over the party. Sa time nyina na menhie sere saa time na menuanom asantefo still omununu omo ho saa time na sankofo we dada asante sebio na menuanom asantefo dwen so omo ne Mahama na enya na menuanom asantefo adwene yom so omo ne ntafo na enya na menuanom asantefo dwen se party ni da ho yom yodia saa time na asantefo atam party no de am Ekufuado. In this we study Paul Afoko interviews some of the things he said enie
candidate. I told him that today I'm diverging it. I told him that, and there were two witnesses in the room.
So what about all of this speculation about Agenda 2020 and so on? And they drag you into Agenda 2020. What is this Agenda 2020 and why are you dragged into Agenda 2020?
Well, it's very interesting. You see, there was a time when we were told, and I want you and your viewers to cast your minds back. There was a time that we were told there was an Agenda 2012. Mm-hmm. Then 2012 came to pass. Mm-hmm. Then they said there is an Agenda 2016. Then we got the presidential candidate that the party wanted. And even before we would come back from Tamale to settle and begin to look at the things we needed to do to get the party battle ready, then those same discordant voices started again. There's an Agenda 2020. It's just visible. It's funny. I mean, they have an agenda. Those who put out those things have an agenda, and that is their agenda unfolding as we sit here. You know, I don't know, but they have always, at all times, found something to hang around Afoko's neck or whoever they don't like.
The agenda started. So na Afoko catch that santifo. Me teni Matiasie Mama Chimfo we aba and Modadamo. There was an agenda, and the agenda was to take over the party. Into Paul Afoko, Ekufuado ye coup, finding ways to suspend him, indirectly to sack him. No, the agenda was that they wanted to take over the party. Paul Afoko did not end there. Osaka Chira Santifo, or can say.
But for those who want to stick to factionalism, I say that they are sticking to factionalism because maybe it serves a certain particular narrow interest, not the party's interest, not the party. I will not say because I admire Akufo, and therefore I find a lot of things about him worthy of emulating. That doesn't mean that Nana Addo doesn't have qualities that I cannot admire and also say, yes, let's bring this in on board as well. I refuse to be pigeonholed.
But is there a Akufo faction?
Well, is there a Nana Addo faction? There are factions, but whatever labels you stick to them, these are labels. Every political party has factions. Every political party. Even the Communist Party in the one-party state has factions. So it is the labels. Somebody will say it is the Victor Uso faction. Somebody will say it's the Buzia faction. Somebody will say the other one is the JB Danko faction. Yeah, these are labels.
Are those labels really worth anything? Do they really, in day-to-day practical terms, mean something, these labels?
Well, I would say that they do, in the sense that in a rather very healthy environment, the kind of environment I am striving to create within our party, in a healthy environment, that is healthy competition of ideas internally. We distill them, come out with the best, and then we carry that as a party. But in the environment in which we are, where you get labeled, and then you get even outright lies hung around your neck, just so that somebody somewhere will prevail, then it's not good.
So you can see clearly Paul Afoko was trying to be very diplomatic in his statement, but they now can say na Akufo-Addo mono, they had an agenda na omatiti party ni mudada, because the more you break the party, you deepen their woes indirectly, you take ownership of the party. Enti kosi Prad Busan say na party no na enchichemu wo say yes na enchichemu wo Akufo-Addo mo na omo aye omo adwene say omo ye ku bi a party no omo pese omo fa. I'm saying Paul Afoko was being diplomatic in his statement because a politician, but what he was trying to tell Ghana for Santiphone to say, they leading to me being suspended or fired indirectly, it was Akufo-Addo building a sort of agenda and fashion in the party. It will obviously at the end of the day break the party into pieces. So Paul Afoko was sending the message. So a teni onim nyansa onim Paul Afoko o sketch ni pa Bromo MPP. He's richer. Paul Afoko at the point gave Akufo-Addo $5 to $50 million in cash. So Ofankwe campaign. He never hated Akufo-Addo, but the way Akufo-Addo started working, who say Akufo-Addo had an agenda, and the agenda na ididima bedru hande. Now, do you want to hear the Okaka? Listen.
I'll vote for the New Patriotic Party. It's my party.
But they suspended you. They don't need you.
Well, they say they've suspended me. A group of 70 plus people say they've suspended me. Those 70 plus people never even voted for me in the first place. They campaigned against me. They told lies about me. They told stories about me. And I promise you, after this interview, they will find new stories to tell. They will find new lies to tell. All that we need to do is already there. It's staring us in the face. It's staring us in the face. Let's go back to the Supreme Court, and we get told by Afarijan, the message he was given at the time, we didn't want to hear that. Polling stations. That's where victory lies, polling stations. And that's why I sent that 10,000, 100 million old cities to every constituency to get them working. That was the purpose. And we were then to continue to invest more in those polling stations. That's where we win or lose. So it's still there. It's possible. But for me to say that based on the confidence with which I walked out of that stadium in Tamale, telling everybody that by March, end of the first quarter of 2016, even NDC will hands up and say, it's gone. We don't have it anymore. Power is slipped.
Power is slipped. Or can be, or say 70 people be and a bag together and almost say peno. That is the same thing they are doing now. Just appointees, they all came out, MPs, SOEs, state-owned enterprises. They ganged up against Allan Chairman, against people who they believe say enise omuwasa agenda nim. And it's always steady very well. When you look at a MPP right now, the setup is a group of people. Omo follow in the Ekufuado agenda. And when those people decide to get rid of you, omo take over the party. They had a specific plan before power was given to them. Now, after a year, Paul Afoko was suspended. Ekufuado was quick to come and write this in 2015, October 26th. Jane Ekufuado Troye, muntie the choice of words. After oye ku ni wie na omo pamo tenino odi MPP ni for Afoko no, he quickly came on social media to put some statement out. Now so we read this statement now, make sure the history of what is happening today. I say, last Friday in Accra, the National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party unanimously adopted the recommendation of the National Disciplinary Committee for the indefinite suspension of the national chairman of the party. According to a release by the party, by the decision of the NEC, Mr. Paul Afoko is suspended indefinitely from the position of national chairman of the NPP. End of quote. I profoundly regret that matters have come to this. Such a development has been rather rare in the history of our party. I had hoped that internal discussions and a spirit of cooperation would have enabled the party to avoid such eventually. However, the appropriate organs of the party have acted. I am therefore calling on all loyal members of the party to respect the decision of NEC and constitution of the party, which provides channels for a discipline, for a redressing grievances. We need to conduct ourselves in a disciplined manner that will protect and promote the integrity and unity of the party. The NPP require a united and committed front of the task ahead. We need to stay focused and organize ourselves to prosecute a successful campaign in 2016 to relieve the Ghanaian people from their suffering and hardships. Ghanaians are looking up to us. Now, Ekufuado masterminded Paul Afoko's sack. Now, Owie na or succeeded say yapam Paul Afoko no, he applied the Machiavellian tactics. So we tie nsem na okana. Eye council, National Executive Council for and say Paul Afoko ya suspending indefinitely. No mom de ankanisa nke dru ha. Na nko say ye kan kukuem, na nka ye make sure say partner enya hoden ne akoko 2016 akono. He did this. After that, he came to apply the Machiavellian tactics. And the Machiavellian tactics, and then they say, you go and cause the problem. You turn around and ask what is happening. They will tell you, say, oh, now was any pan wa fire extinguisher, no akudum jano, no be hero. That is what Ekufuado was doing. So he applied the Machiavellian tactics well. He used his own people, Freddie Blay, some executives in the party. They went after Afoko. They killed the Upper East Regional, the Northern Regional Chairman. They came back. They set it and said, "This guy Paul Afoko is not doing things right." Because normally it's a party. Northern, Eastern Region, Upper East or Upper East Regional Chairman. He's not fit to lead. So he ganged up. They got rid of him. He came back and used the Machiavellian. Now the Machiavellian was simple. He would come back and write things and say, ya se Paul Afoko ya pamono ade chi no de Freddie Blay be she ho later no aka catch him say, oh we die na nke dis ye ne sa. He applies the Machiavellian, and that is Ekufuado, the blueprint na make sure no. So Westedia Ejako dropped out of the race because some people wanted to vote. Abra na party rules which say bibi sa sia na sama for bracket and ani pe bi enya vote bia the whole voting fraternity no have to vote again. They applied the Machiavellian because when here Jako, they said some people if you say they had to get their people in 442 Nikufuado yeno make sure the history of the Amana Babedru Hande MPP no Ekufuado MPP na Michel Chiromuno. I want you to know Mebesa Santefonity Bibiase from day one Ekufuado took power omu nigo tun for na so they don't respect you people omu mua Santefo omu some adwene wo fom omu some nko school mon kenkan inte Ekufuado na achimfo ketu bi na mudi tumi ma omu no omu di tumi no omu di atie jana na omu da tare mu anim awosamo bra mo ho ase na mutie no kore enye de bia na choka enye de bia na obi be play on your emotions enye de bia na obi di politics be da wa santini ende Allan kodo chiramantena o ya sante bonyono no ende o say party ye ne de papa dia no odo ne japade no ya je free nsem ya je tumi afri menhia nsem every say otumfo ama no ho kwan ema saa nipa nketewa we eburenim tia ende MPP asantefo makonwa wen mame komeni na menkyerɛ mo de amaya ba bedru hane. So after this, the MPP went forward and this guy was murdered. JB Dankwa. This is a dangerous group. Sa party we na hu ni sa no. Baby Oma Bedru no, it is not just by chance so a continuous the aggressive strategy plan and the Bedru ha. Ekufuado no a tyrant. This particular MPP we know they are not in the interest obia interest they are here to destroy. In Paul Afoko no, this young man called JB Dankwa who contributed to Ekufuado's political career than any of these people following Ekufuado no, they murdered him. Because this guy was a potential flag bearer. They are getting rid of everybody. If you become an obstacle, Allan Chairmantin Allah ilalao and come kuna twachne. He took the best decision of his life. They would have murdered him. So they came and said this guy is becoming too popular. In the NDC MPP Ushema JB Dankwa do. What do we do? They murdered him. Omukuno. Shockingly, they are cool JB Dankwa, the first person who got access to the house Kennedy Japan. Today Kennedy Japan is in there threatening Ekufuado to say Odin Kwasi Asawa showdown because they are partners in crime. Inti sexy don na oku JB Dankwa no ye busana no bo Kennedy din no abo Ekufuado din. Ekufuado today Kennedy can tell Ekufuado say I'll give you a showdown. Ekufuado backs off. You know why? Because they were part of the murder. They came together to kill. And he, Kennedy Japan, he's a prime suspect when it comes to that because he was the first person to go witness it. He was the first person who told us he knows the person who murdered this guy, but he wasn't there. And it's sometimes Okaso Drew baby or say if you do I'll collapse the party because Kennedy Japan him the Kennedy and only Ekufuado plan here. The suspect who murdered JB Dankwa said Ekufuado and Kennedy sent him. I am not making those statements. These are all factual statements. And until to say Ekufuado Jimmy remember the showdown because there's no difference. We have done things to get to this point. You cannot play any Machiavellian on me. Because they are coming from the same camp. It is our statement, make here, he was sending a signal to them. You know the damage we have done together to get here. So they murdered this gentleman. Ever since there for 7 years, Kennedy, Ekufuado, none of these people have stood on any national platform to say, let's say a word of prayer for JB Dankwa. Ask yourself why. Because they needed to finish this boy to pave the way for Ekufuado. Machiavellian. Now you see it. So Ekufuado is Kennedy Japan is using these things against Ekufuado. And it's always so confident. Maybe the president because he's holding Ekufuado's balls. Because if Ekufuado speaks, he will spill the beans. He's got nothing to lose. Now a president. Ain't he? Ustedia after they did this to JB Dankwa and na nkofo we ni nemu na Asantefo to was so moso. Oka MPP asempe no mo di watem instead of them looking inside looking at the MPP the no na otumfo any Asantefo ahemfo they are saying say proponent and exponent the paramount chiefs of Ashanti region no because oye penyini na so otifie na nkofo we nanka ye kan nankawefo a ye kan wo kan ho. So instead of the NPP Asantefo ahemfo ni MPP Asantefo no to scold these people and be honest with them no they were entertaining them na de bia no mundi Mahama atem na munjai Kufuado munjai Kennedy munjai Bawumia MPP into de bia no the things they were doing to destroy the party no they didn't care. They only cared about John Mahama. They only cared about JJ Rawlings because they thought they were the enemy. The enemy wasn't the NDC. The enemy of the MPP has never been the NDC. The enemy of the MPP has always been the NPP, and it's a Kufuado, and it is Bawumia, Kennedy Japan. It is these people. And it's there somebody like Allan Kojo-Kyerematen to me Jina Bontika say, I don't want to be part. When the MPP Tyalor Kojo-Kyerematen, at the point where his leg, 1 foot was there, he pulled back. When the MPP Tyalor Kojo-Kyerematen, or you say easier now. He's more closer to presidency than anybody in the MPP. But and they will say, I want to walk out. Or you saw Okaya, he has considered a lot of things. Allan, he thinks about his life and the life of his kids than Sanko Fowi. They would have murdered him. And Kennedy will picture him, Ekufuado will picture him, anything is possible. Mr. Kennedy Japan will picture him, Nana Danko Ekufuado will picture him, Bawumia will picture him, anything is possible. So Westedia, Allan was the odd one out in this whole elections. Why is the odd one out not confident? He's scared because he knows the kind of people in his own party. Because he knows what they can do. The kind of information Allan won, majority of you don't have when it comes to the murdering of JB Dankwa, Paul Afoko, the murdering of the Eastern Regional, Upper East. Allan has first-hand information and he knows the people he's dealing with. These are dangerous murderers. They are criminals. They are dangerous. Into a free JB Dankwa. Me chraw the waba be see Allan Kyerematen asem we so na afi waka say aha. Ebia mun steady mu asantefo no. You just move with your emotions. De bia no obi atuotumfo atam obi antan otumfo. No kra na ye ka kire mu na mudwumuto. Now let's move forward. So it came and came and came near bedru a year super delegates elections. At a point 10 candidates, 9 were at one side. One candidate, Bawumia, was on one side. Almost said we should go with the one candidate's own. But I want to say Adintra. Because the Kufuado has vowed. He does not care. So two for crab be jinan him no but careless. Now a person stop Bawumia or Kufuado be cool too far to actually. Because it is power he needs. He needs to protect his ass. Until he does not care the any time Quran is because we are Santinia person distracting. Because one, they wanted to use that small chief to make people understand say they have never respected Asantefo. They have always seen Asantefo so munko school. So they have always played on their emotions. Into Debiano Ustedia, MPP for any Asantefo Kasa, Mokai Mahama. So then it gets to them, but in tough one about Asantefo. And it's like Asantin Kai, Asantin Divi on Kai do die, Asante will and say you and refini po buano, Asantin Kaino, and no such no, because the entire for Yama Asantefo, there was no way and cause Tenny about Santimema, and I said Tenny be ye Kajetia was Santimema, Nanke say what the biggest day a year statue of John Mahama, Ewa Santimemu, it was entire for a Asantefo. In Tinanka, as we sit, it wasn't supposed to be 10 kekedinti any other time NDC. Nanko see a case 10 santini. Nanso inkofo we nim Asantefo, omo way Asantefo the way they think, and the way their emotions are always ahead of the reason, they always throw something red meat. Na Asantefo DHD. And the way Asantini now shame me busa say MPP no musi nkonwa wakonwa wen. Allan Kojo-Kyerematen na eye Asante akuma ewo MPP mu je ekufo umpeo wodini mrewie onitumi biem makuma na ewo MPP mu Allan Kojo-Kyerematen omate ato atwene party ni ehwan dia oma jefri mu nsem but my men building na menkyere wo de ekọ okay ye di dim ne be super delegates conference o sede en ene ekoto aba yese ba omie wini. See the way the elections went. You could see say bibia se Bawumia wini. The target was against Allan Kojo-Kyerematen. None of the candidates were target. Ekufuado no nim say Asantinia or what a year race me Allan Kyerematen on a dangerous in a sense say the powerhouse na a MPP no e hono free or no enomo dono. So they've found ways to do what? Make sure say Oma bring Asante for no spirit down by making them believe say Allan cry on strong until let's force a super delegate congress or a conference. Near fanto almost near Montias say Moye Asante mo to me and so nipa na makuma woni muno on Ghana for njinin nipa dodo senator delegates for super delegates election no. 100,000 and so they represent Obia or MPP mu. Ye didi mu ne yakoto abani wiye. Ye to abani wiye ne se Jaku ne Obia bo brackets. Ene Jaku se bobo ye nyina MPP for. Emra ne da ho. Ade na mo me ndi mra no so. Ye te ya ene Jaku so release statement. This is the Machiavellian tactics that make sure no. O read e Jaku eye statement na ye nya abotenam dwedwem obi antie me. Wo be hu bebi ade we fi. Who read a Jaku statement or say blah 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 Honorable Professor Aaron Maikwe or Trokoma chairman of the Presidential Election Committee muntie me so amefo bantama for asawase for mo amowa santime mu menhia muntie me ekufo ado ane egu menhia na so. I'm telling you, the biggest disrespect in the history of the NPP any day seen there no. Now or see, I write to the Presidential Elections Committee with reference to the press engagement by the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party on Wednesday 30th August 2023 after the National Council meeting on the resolution that National Council members will vote to break the tie of the NPP special presidential elections. Also otramamo na adikudenti otro say General Secretary Abeka Nsembi efa eye bracket na omabo e super delegate election mu no na opeso kire na adwene e wo Nsembi a ono so peso kire na adwene because General Secretary ni kasa e no nyoma bi anto na sum yi. Ejaku onyakora wa MPP mu. Ejaku oye a root member of the MPP. Ne kron no ntinende o bibi owo no. Inte Ejaku so tro bibi o say. Now quote o say where there are more than 5 Odinka Kotu MPP Constitution Article 13 Clause 9 or say where there are more than 5 contestants for nomination as the party's presidential candidate, a special electoral college shall cast their votes by secret ballot for the first 5 contestants to be shortlisted. Or say yen yankase constitution mu no ye wamra e kire se nipa enum na ekọ akọ contestia e wo se party no eto aba na ye den ye yi nipa enum a omo den omo ebedi abe contest se flag bearers ansa na ye yi de obedi first. Intine Jaku site constitution say eyemre da wo se party nyina to aba omo di nka to aba nyo so obi ato en constitution or state be wo constitution nim inte Jaku case. Now, Okohe Asewa do try and say the special electoral college shall comprise of the following. Or see a constitution, a say a kotu abano na bracket bemukura. Constitution it says a pampino or mutu aba special delegates no. And also more the sato about election mubium. Omambo bracket also be atu aba. On TSS and the the National Council, the National Executive Committee, the Regional Executive Committee, all members of the National Council of Elders, all party members of the Parliament, 3 representatives of each of the special organs of the party, past national officers, 3 representatives from representatives each from every external branch, founding members and blah blah blah. Ejaku say sankofo we nyina no party no mra hye say also mu nyina asato aba na eye dan na mutumi ka say nipa bi nko na nto aba na omo maka no nto aba ebu party mra so. Machiavellian. Now they are doing their selection. This is a Kufuado. This is how he operates. This is how he did it from 2012. And na ordinary mua babedu hande ni e catch Asante inkofo na je party no Asante ebedu bebri no ometi omoto sebio eja 9 dia tare monimo na Asante di atem Asante se Mahama enye Mahama na e problem no e party na ekufo adu di enim na e problem no eye atemfo kito bi omudi moni na e problem no eye ekufo adu eye Kennedy Japan ba omiamo na e problem no but na still Asante enkai Asante nkaiti debia na Asante say oh ekufo de abrochire nsan aba menhia ekufo de franton aba menhia ekufo de MPP fo aba menhia inti so mudi nkwahesem kura Asante nkai Jaku throw we and I say party no mra no kire say e wo say edi mra no so na okwa asiewa or say issues of tie in the electoral college ɔsa kyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ nipa bi bɔbɔ bracket ne yɛpɛ nipa baako ma bɛyɛ fita ɛwɔ sɛ yɛdi mmara no so. Now okɔ the other part of Ejako ɛyɛ ne letter ɔtwerɛ a adekonti a ɔse ɔntoa so biem na ɔse the position of the runoff scheduled for Saturday 2nd September 2023 was reaffirmed by the chairman of the Elections Committee during your address to the party after the first round of special college elections, where you stated that candidates who voted in the first round will be the ones to vote in the second round. Okay, omo na mo kae say yakoto aba na bracket be mu kra omo to aba no omo na besa to aba no. According to say the Constitutional Special Electoral College with the mandate to shortlist and list of aspirants is and can be none other than the full complement listed under Article 13, Clause 9. I see, I was say the Constitution can say I was say obia na tuaba se nipa be no bracket ye nyi nipa ko bi mo tuaba I was so mo tuaba in the first one na bracket ne ba no I was say obia so etumi tuaba. Into then na my kokwe any general secretary beka che Ghana for say nipa kuo bi a constitution no e ma omo kwan so omo to aba no omo kwan na e beto aba Ejako ko ni wo kan bibi o say ha na ehu no o say therefore it is totally unconstitutional that a subsection about 135 National Council members of the Special Electoral College should assume the functions on behalf of 955 delegates who voted in the first round. Also on Tiasie, your constitution president also in Yedim Ranso, and a nipa 300 per ever representing nipa 995. Why? Nasu Busaya no. Into a question or say it is totally unacceptable to me that such an unconstitutional act can be perpetrated on the altar of expediency. Brofo, or see a yen wanwa, a channel soon, just on person or back general crampa jatum. Say a yet chronofitaya abra your constitution, SCSA, young co sa quine whistle, nipebi a chim party no, a diafa quine whistle, or say a channel minimum. Or call anymore say, am I to summarize that the party did not know the cost implications? It is unconstitutional. It is unconcessionable that the rules of the game will be changed midstream. Rules and regulations that are flip-flopped in such a manner is only detrimental to fair play and justice. Or say anyone, Ejako dear no. The email Jaco so train ho a free contest no or see anyone was say emra na ebo party ho ban na ende ya moa no ya chinchim no ya koa no say ebema nipa bi enkoa ediye also say it is a clear violation of the party's constitution and the guidelines for the Special Electoral College. It is an unconstitutional act which I cannot allow myself to be associated with. Ejako or see deɛ mo yɛ no ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ebu party mmara so ɔno deɛ ɔyɛ MPP ni mapa a ɔnka Akufo-Addo agenda no ho no ɔntumi fa no ho nhyɛm bibi a mekan Allan party letter na kyerɛw wobɛhu sɛ they are all saying the same thing. It is the Akufo-Addo Machiavellian tactics. They use the tactics Ochina party be release statement ɔmba bɛka kyerɛ Ghana for say Allan has done something they are very ashamed. It hurts them. Allan is an honorable man. Allan was not supposed to do that. Allan has been there. He contested Akufo-Addo. He believed democracy. Machiavellian. In Tosha say, I therefore respectfully I refuse to be part of such an act that seeks to unjustly Ejako say, I refuse to be part of such an act that seeks to unjustly truncate a previously agreed upon process and cannot be part of what is about to be done on Saturday the 2nd of September 2023. I cannot, with a clear conscience, make such an impermissible concession to such an errant decision. Or say, on to me emfa ne ho nhye saa krono we mu saa dwirim we no o se ono on to me fa ne ho nhyem every say party no ye nyina agitum se bibi say besi na ebi bebo bracket a ye be ma omo to aba 995 ni nyina to eye dan ene e ka se nipa kuo bi ntonto ono de ye fe ne jako no ompa ne ho enje saa krono we mu we ye MPP. As you know, say, I therefore respectfully serve this notice to refrain from such a contest. As always, I wish the party well. I say, ono dear, ohokro ne nsa ho, etwe ne ho free saa krono we mu, dream, ketahye, eye dien, eye krono, on peso de no, oye Pontiac pilot to say dien, otwe ne ho free. So, ejako, reason or train who party say Akufo-Addo as the leader, no, he is manipulating the party to go his way. That agenda na Paul Afoko kano, it is manifesting today, and he's skewing every single thing from the national executives to the last person. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and then the MPP no, including Bawumia candidate Japan, they are skewing the system because they need to protect the crimes that they have committed. And not Akufo-Addo, but a candidate to me, Akufo-Addo say, I'll give you a showdown because omumienu ene nimboni omudi into bear with the right to threaten each other. Enti ejako twene ho, and he cited reasons why I watching ho krono koso Akufo-Addo plan no ye no eno an oye. Now let's go and read yedie Allan Kojo-Kyerematen ende or twene ho no edie no no so kan. This is Allan Kojo-Kyerematen's letter. Muntie ni ye. Then Allan Kojo-Kyerematen say, on Sunday, the 27th of August 2023, I issued a public statement which made reference to the selection and shortlisting of presidential aspirants by the Special Electoral College convened by the New Patriotic Party on the 26th of August 2023. After having carefully analyzed the results of the said elections, it is absolutely clear to me from events leading to, during and after the elections that the Special Delegates Conference was strategically and tactically skewed in favor of one particular aspirant. Allan Kojo-Kyerematen say, yato abani nyina wie na otena asese nyoma no, oni ni team SC bibia no, and making sure say the course no, or see we hu say abana yato na nsane a yede ba be flag bearer no ohun ni clear oni ni team eya mo analysis ni hu say ya twiem ama nipa bi said nipa bi mom na ndi anim ye wiem ama Bawumia. Allan Kojo-Kyerematen can the same thing Ejako said in a different tone. O si Nana Danko Akufo-Addo aban we achimfo ketewa we no almost sisa party ne mra ewiem dane skew no because you are skewing na to say oh chichire obi nse gurechi adane nani ahwe baby wa manchire ade no amanako obi afa. It will be say a dent in Allan say and onko bi ma we who the party leadership no akronfo omumbu party ni constitution omumbu baby ofri any asantefo and omodane party no amana hwe omo so na said you ebe dade ahwe obi de nkenda ne hwe omo so na de bia no omomfa party no. We need some of the reasons that Allan Gina so say me ne MPP for flag bearership race to kwanta ya pai. According to the pronouncement made by some leading members of our party both before and after the elections also lend weight to my observations. Or see, the man has some okano in Gina so woman say, and I say a once you are a memory doing the say party ma sebio omwa bemu MPs state-owned enterprises leaders mpenifua Akufo-Addo to suffer no omukra can clear and ayati. Or say Mensa Bonsu, MPs ni nyina, Asantifo MPs, dia omu nyina say, omu pese Bawumia wini. And so you need to understand say, when nyina maneti asye say, na party no, Akufo-Addo ne agenda for na yoma dwene say, omu be mama Bawumia. Because MP say me pe Bawumia, chairman say me pe Bawumia, obia say me pe Bawumia, adentra ye de Bawumia ne pe. Bawumia betima demand so inform ho because Akufo-Addo agenda no needs to work. It is the agenda they are following. They are not following the priorities of the party. They are not following the constitution of the party. They are not following the interest of the people in the party. They are following Achim Sakawa Akufo-Addo Busua agenda. And Bawumia is the pawn. Bawumia na ye koliko no and na omu use no. The same as Canada Japan so kahon because he was part of the people who started that their damage from the back. And it's to me Gina Dipemka say, I will give you a showdown because ye me ni ye di bone pen. Yemienu ne yekuni papain. Yemienu na yedi bonia the suspect or committee can ebo yemienu din. Inti it is man past man. Allan Kojochamanti called in the third paragraph, and I'll see the fourth paragraph. The level of intimidation of varying intensity, directly and indirectly unleashed on a significant number of delegates at various voting centers across the 16 regions is unprecedented in the history of our party. Or see, abua ya bunko for tatanko for a bunko for ma our party nim abra yes election e bin si da in the history of the NPP. Oh, who to trust them say that I want any so sir or joining NPP. Or say Allan Kojochamanti say oh won't be that. Send your boo nipa, your tata nipa party internal election. Or so or no, or see so as a young man I will be near to do so. Oh, who say BS when people muda. It is dangerous. So technically the party has become party of murderers, hooligans, party of people the leader believes in tyranny. This is baby a free no a one eba bedruno. According to Allan said, or say, in addition, the fact that my polling agent in the northeast region has suffered severe damage to his eyesight, arising from this bold and courageous effort to ensure compliance with every rule and regulation for the conduct of the elections as approved by the Presidential Election Committee, will forever remain a dark spot in the history of internal elections within the party. Or see, me ankasa agent na or say election because the because trodo yensisi obi no bi nsisi ye ene say yeni ankasa party for nipa bi share party for chi aburo me ankasa agent emma and the nani asai and the nani be hia surgery no or see eka tuntuma aka party na onyankopon ko an betumi apepa sa aka no or see the dark spot see kasa dark spot etwa tuntum etwa eka ho a indelible mark enkoda or say party no afantuma boni bi efra ono Allan Kojochamanti ono ani nipa o ya MPP ni o party no ya bro na say ni no on pese sebio or de ne ho beka ana ode oil be support this kind of tyranny. To all more reasons why all free party no flag bearership a contest him. This incident and various acts of violence and collusion reported in other voting centers are appalling, unquestionable, and despicable. Or say sanyoma wo ye sisi wo Ghana yen yanka say internal election mu nanko fo kan ho asama yen nyina yen tua no time eya bonyono etwa surumu eya de bia MPP ayenimu no enye nie na time. This is Allan Kojochamanti ano asem o chirechiri ma kire Ghana for adekodie nti a enne party no flag bearership no yin in safe no onye ready so be kunipa and onye ready so be kuno. Into party now has become a party of murderers. Into top one, you see Medra 1 candidate, Medra 2 as candidate. So it is a party of cluster of murderers. Party that does not follow its own constitution. Party on one kasa nemra or troyeno, a moon penny for etumi niguso, no makasi de bema obi amene. Okwasiya will say, I am committed to and value the safety of those who work with me and for me, and I will always fight for their interests. Or say, didn't see a catch then who say omo de omakoma ene omokra to so meye adwuma ma no ene ne beye adwuma no wa can't share onyankopon ene na koma mu say ondi omuhwamo enti saa ewudi sem we one moto nkwanta wa pai. This is the party in power. And the reason why I am doing this and say me pese Ghana for tiasie the danger MPP kuta whether Baumia whether Kennedy a Ekufuado agenda, an agenda to kill, the agenda to destroy, the agenda to mute and maim the people, the agenda to take over this nation in the face of a democratic state but a tyranny. So you Ghana anyway Santinina adewe unsura you nankasa we before let away Allan Kojochamanti channel indirectly so summarize here or catch the Ghana for said this party is dangerous for you. Irrespective of who leads the party on wankasa buni mraso ekunu hunipa eseni hunipa ni party on wankasa ebuni mraso dangerous because it is no more a party, it has become a killing machine. And it's now Allan Kojochamanti, the pain in his eyes when he went to visit ɔno ankasa ne party ni.
Allan Tremantin first visited his Northeast region agent who was allegedly attacked during the Super Delegates Conference. The flag-bearer aspirant who placed third in the election said he will not countenance any such behavior going forward.
What happened to my colleague on Saturday was an act of total indiscipline and indecent behavior. How do we, as a decent party, going into an election, particularly at the level of superdelegates, superintend such behavior? I mean, look, we all joined the NPP because of our commitment to the values of the party. But what is happening clearly shows that this is not what we bargained for by joining the party. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of behavior. It doesn't make sense.
His agent, Zakaria Ali, narrated his ordeal.
The third person was the regional youth organizer. He voted and displayed his vote. So I confronted him and told him, my brother, that is not the way, the rule of the game. We are told that no one should use a phone to snap when you vote. Secondly, we have been told that no one should vote and display his vote. Oh, when I said he picked a plus chair and hit me, so I blocked him this way. So it hit my hand. The national coordinator also rushed and hit me. So I saw that I was bleeding from my elbow. So when that happened, it was my MP, MP for Chirapone, Honorable Razak Tairo. He came to rescue me.
The police is yet to make any arrest.
This is a political party. Now, it is because you two Allan Tremantin for. Don't be part of these people. You two Ashanti for. Mamu fatu mi sheku fuadu nsemu. Mamu nkokumu hu meku fuadu. Ne kufuadu no to no kra now. Oni ne busuafo no omu mbu motu fo no to no. MPP for you two move from day one. Then you do her starting from Afoko. Amanfo e kunipa, sideline nipa, yuzu ntafo, emendo da hu yuzu ntafo. Kennedy Japan ninkofo in a cran now. Kennedy Japan paved the way for Ekufuado. When it comes to JB Danquest's murder, Kennedy is a prime suspect because the murderer has said on national television, say, Kennedy na suma no momko hu Ekufuado. It is a Kennedy who Ekufuado warning na a man pass man, a man nim dioma yabedru ha. It Allan Tremantin any Asante force man make catch them and I catch them for years. No, it wasn't about John Mahama. MPP, no, we were telling you people say, Sa Asante for Motoma MPP we no, Sa Ekufuado MPP we no, Sa Ekufuado MPP we no, Omubegu Asante mine. It is through the same party and the Munsa Sinyina say. It is saved through the same party. Mwankasema kuma nemo bonyo na da MPP muno and the yetiaso Allan Tremantin and the Obia and also Odimu Nimuno, or did to me Buffy no, Obia and also Osha Asantman Munyamno, and the Mamma Kofoe Atata no money free party. Inti party na ye dia, party na ye dia, party ya Santifo, Yama 1.8 million, party na ye di Nyansano, and the wine Jimmy, and the wine is Senekwasia, and the wine on Yakunyatnaso, and the wine a party ye in a film. A cool bay and a what to me were party. Eya chimfo ketua we are eno makopeteni ba ko a omobe yusu no eguni ni mase e de se baomia because omo nim say omo yin asantini na mfiri mu a party no omo nya. The only thing they needed to do was to take Allan Tremantin out because omo mu otumfo mbu mu asantifo mu vote mo na mokoto aba sebio te semponchi enime Kufuado 2016 ena mo sakoto aba esade ma Kufuado eye den nende na nado danko Kufuado ogina nipem ka se oniwa ne men so a Allan Tremantin ne di nechi no eye den nende Kufuado aye bibia Machiavellian tactics eyi Allan Tremantin firo ne ate Ghana ha ena Kufuado anka se bie na no to e ka cha Allan Tremantin say you will be next after me. What has happened? And the Allan Kokasa ne ye bonu hunipa. And the Allan nankasa ashana brabum wanhwe ya nkofo bi kuna to atwene sa akoko. Or say party no monfa.
But I'll do everything in my power not to let you down. So that the decision you have made here will bear fruit for us next year. Just hope my colleagues will forgive me if on this occasion I single out one particular one, a young man who gave me such a big run for my money, and who has shown in this his first intervention in our national politics that the talent, the drive, the energy are all there. All I can say to him is what my predecessor, flag bearer, said to me many years ago, and I've never forgotten it. After our contest in 1998, came to my house to tell me that he has to be president first before I become president. Allan, you follow me. Allan, you follow me. Allan, you follow me. Allan, you follow me. First before I become president. Allan, you follow me.
So these are his own words. Rebecca Kufuor the glasses, I saw a welder, one camproom. Rebecca Kufuor the one with the space, I saw a welder, one camproom. And these are the liars. Today Allan is scared because they can murder him. They will murder him like JB Dankwa. They will murder him like those people they have murdered. They don't care. Allan Kojo is surrounded by murderers, top and down. He's surrounded by murderers up there and murderers in the second spot. He is there. He knows how dangerous it is. Inti inkofo na uhuamono no saying asantini ba odi mokodi nchine. So sorry no passe. Di omo dia ya Allan Kojo Kyerematen mekoto aba ma MPP a wo yo twen ba. On sese be from asantini. We Jimmy on take to me ase. You don't understand power. Unti eye enimtia. You don't understand disrespect. We are Santini bandage na Santini muka chere Kevin Taylor say me MPP ni we kwasia. You know why? Because one suno mo bon you know ebema mo so abeba Ghana for enim Asantini the president no ya Jeffrey Munsem. And Asantini to me Asante adane ma Asante eni to me bia wo Ghana. And Ekufuado abremwase. Nana Adodanko Ekufuado ene ne click we MPP click we oma bre otumfu ase mutumi wen and the chachapua any de mobeye you ever promise vice president you ever promise Asantini vice president Asantini will be vice president. You people will never get close. You will never get close to the presidency if you say you tubufu anamuntie. Mama John Mahama ended the fourth term na yamfa tumi inshallah Allan Kojo Kyerematen nsem na mama nkwasiafo we dadamo mama ejimi fo we dadamo na de bia omo de ntafo din dadamo yati krom ha and the Asante fo makonwa wen. Where is your chair when they call the members of the NPP ni patitiro muhinya omo kasa ekom mo Asantefo mo amuhwe menim Asantefo wakonwa wen mo yankwa ende ewe NPP mu. You are slaves. Mo be yankwa so ache mo na de kro if you say mo nye ready say mo be ka no kra kire mo ho. Asante yankwa ewe NPP mu. Asante ni tumi. Asante to nkwasiaba and Asante ya bra Asante ase. Ekufuado ne busuafo ane egu Asante so. Ye tumofo muntie. Ende Asante mutumi wen. Ka asam kire mo amonte.
Asantefo ne akanfo na the problem of this country. Yet is what yan can't. Asantefo ne akanfo na the problem of this country. Yet is what yan can't. Asantefo ne akanfo na the problem of this country. Yet is what yan can't. Asantefo ne akanfo na the problem of this country. Yet is what yan can't. Asantefo ne akanfo na the problem of this country. Yet is what yan can't.
MPP. If you answer the MPP for need MPP now come. Read my lips. MPP. If you answer, omu need capital. Jimmy pa. Jimmy omo Jimmy ana book. MPP for book unti. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy. Me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy. Me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy, me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy, me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy, me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party. My Jimmy MPP for Jimmy, me who be dead. Stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Just a few comments I would like to make is, Doc, the kind of job, the yeoman's job you are doing and undertaking for and on behalf of the head of state. It's no joke. It's no mean task at all. And I can confirm to you over here, not just because you're sitting just about a yard from me, I'm exaggerating. Nananum in Ashanti region, and I'm specifically using the name Ashanti region. Those of us in the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs, we do appreciate and admire you. Anytime you see you on the TV, immediately what comes to mind is, yes, here he comes, the chief exponent and proponent of governmental economic policies and principles. And the main reason why we in Anonymous in the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs do really admire him and appreciate him is, and incidentally, just for the record, when one delves through the composition of membership of Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs, I can boast with my chest out that any profession within the Western world, name it, we have a member who is qualified over there. Chartered accountants, medical doctors, no mean lawyers and solicitors. I'm here, over 35 years standing. We are all composite members of Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs. So when you get this kind of caliber of body to appreciate and admire the human job he's doing, he is everywhere, giving series of keynote addresses to international workshop, seminar within Mother Ghana here. We do appreciate it. And one cardinal principle that he's been enunciating all the time is, he is not one of those from the world of academia who just preach theories. He touches on greater policies and then go to the extent to analyze it in depth, break it down into minutest structures and this and that for everybody to understand and appreciate it. Let's give a hand to our Vice President.
In so say young can crunch Asante and a bedru hande Asante makonya when people na. I'll pick phone calls and end the show. It's exactly 6:56 p.m. US East Coast time. It's definitely 10:56 in Ghana. I'll pick calls. You're still watching, with all due respect, extended version. MPP no Asante mai yimufrim otumfo onise we MPP mu mampon hene de wa yirem Asante pejana betri ye MPP for no ende munya MPP biem ende ya kire mo size Asante nka manuntum ada ye betis Asante ni biti radio so ka se MPP no ye bese hu ye bese kwasea obanyansafo ende kasa edi tumi ba fie obi nkwasea se ma ambotna TV so ka John Mahama on policy. And alas, on my hand, the former president should tell us, what Cocoa Road is, open policy. And man, Mutia Sempa, you don't even know what Cocoa Road is, open policy. John Mahama church policy. You have not been able to read about what Cocoa Road is. Mufusa gallant to what Busa say, we want former president back policy. In free, mo tribe nti enende yebedru ha mo nkwasi a tribe a mo de adi manim nti ne yebedru ha nde obusa John Mahama o mema policy John Mahama mema policy de John Mahama start here the way we na we oni policy bia ma fa o Jimmy Tuma MPP o pe policy be na nkwasi afo de ba ya adwuma da be na John Mahama bia na no ka say or the free SHS e-blocks policy ba how many e-blocks do in Ghana John Mahama ka say or the health infrastructure policy ba how many hospitals no we see John Mahama ka say or the factory policy ba o si factory saying John Mahama ka mo Jimmy mo te one word na mo di mo Jimmy titi radio so call Angel FM ko Jimmy Foguo omo nim nyansa na hu MDC communicators omo Jimmy so mo so ko in conform to Angel FM omo boom flag bearer NDC communicators for the jiminti most of them kwatena oketechie Kwame Free Kwasi Ampenya o repu ma ne hu fi wei Kwame Free fan hu fi wei jantre ni be ma wo babia kwekutin otoa na ko repu kwekutin yire si atikrom ha Kwame Free fa kwekutin toa na wato ahye yire so anyam no a repu no Kwasi ato chan Kwasi afo so na kwatena Angel FM say ye koka NDC asem na wo Angel Kwasi afo mto no kwekutin mo ye dwuma na opese wan di so kwekutin pe MPP because ne baba kromfo no MPP na Kwame Free fan hu fi wei ne num kankan ne siase brown Jimmy Forward ne num afu se akati aba no ne papa betena nkran when to sit down ne krom ne papa wu so otwen ya twen ne form te se preku ene ekosie ne kurase na Jimmy Forward ti radio so na motete ho ya na MPP communicators bi mo Jimmy nti ya kwatena Angel e ho na go send you message MPP NDC communicators no some of you mo adwiri nya adwuma no akwatena Angel FM say e ho na me ko send me message now just Angel for to no on person NDC ba power. Do you think they care about your NDC? Kwame Free fan who fi we anum kanka ne siase brown we oto no ogin say na chantesam ene ne tribal foolishness no o person nyanse ni bedi ni so o ye Jimmy forfeit ni kwala abrem school po anko bi me say kwekutin no woto na wo ma na wasa omla isa wo yirenim no obeto asa omo so wo de tena ho osora na watama don kosi wadim me dem ya don ko papa obebo yirenim nyina atoto omo na amomu ace ye ka bibia kire ma mo nte ase e na mo te Ghana na nkwasiade modia mumu munim de eba musika fia bi amonya no. How many minutes does it take you people to get $1? It takes you like 6 months to get $1. Motiti Ghana pije mabeti. I am done. I'll be back on Thursday to do the do. My name is Kevin Ekoberu Taylor. My producers are called the Ghost Team, and they are willing and ready to speak truth to power. Thank you very much, Ghana for Asante for MPP no makonwa wen ena mibusamo. Good night.
For channel a share video we also PENDREAM TV mpacho wa share we adwuntwa bia wo fa video yi no ho bia no send my 0277128777 0277128777 WhatsApp number no send your voice ne bra na bebo magana for nyina ate wonka
Debi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases PENDREAM TV.